How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna be talking Jared Anderson versus Charles Martin, you guys. It went down last night. If you guys are just joining us, definitely smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up for sure. Um, but yeah, man, we're gonna talk this fight that happened last night, man. It happened on ESPN Top Rank, and it was a pretty good fight. It was a pretty good fight between two guys that really wanted it. Um, I don't know if you guys know Charles Martin, but he's a fringe heavyweight contender that actually was a heavyweight champion of the world. But a lot of people thought that he was kind of gifted that title. I don't believe that. I actually feel like he worked for it. I felt like he beat the guy that he beat, and the guy he beat him. He did well. He did well. He beat him, and he did well. The guy broke his leg, and he won the title. He won the the IBF heavyweight title of the heavyweight championship of the world. But at the same time, and in the same breath, you know, Charles Martin is who we thought he was. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, nobody thought he was going to beat, Jared Anderson. Now, I'm going to be honest, you guys. There were times in this fight that Jared Anderson got caught. Okay. And not only did he get caught, he got hurt. Okay. And you being a blue chip prospect like that, getting hurt by a guy like Charles Martin that got destroyed, completely obliterated in 2 rounds by Anthony Joshua. If you're trying to, and that was years ago. Now, excuse me. Now, Charles Martin has probably gotten a lot better, to his own, credit. And he definitely trained for this fight. He trained probably for a 12-round fight. It only was scheduled for 10. And I believe Charles Martin was a late replacement as well, too, you guys. So, I mean, Charles Martin, he did pretty well considering the circumstances. But Charles Martin wind up losing, you guys, a 10-round decision. Some of the judges had it, let me read out these judges' scorecards for you guys, man. Let me get that. I want to know the exact. I want to know um, because none of the judges had really had it for, Charles Martin, and Charles Martin got knocked down in the fight as well, you guys. Charles Martin got knocked down and hurt. So you guys got to take that in consideration too, man. He did get knocked down in the fight. He did get back up, but he definitely got knocked down. So these are the three. All three judges had it 99-90. Okay, for Jared Anderson, 99-90 for Jared Anderson. It was only a 10-round fight. There, like I said, there was a knockdown. Martin was down in the third round. At the time, Martin was 29-3. Okay. Jared Anderson only has 14 professional fights, and it showed. It showed. Some people are saying that Jared Anderson is one dimensional now. Jason Williams, what's going on, man? He says, what do you think Jared Anderson needs to do to reach his full potential? I think he needs to work on defense and movement. Yeah, I think right now it's a time for Jared Anderson to actually possibly switch trainers. I know a whole lot of people aren't going to talk about it. I know a whole lot of people aren't going to say it, but I seen a lot of stagnant and the same motions and the same routines in there when I was watching Jared Anderson. He was doing some of the same rhythms. And when a fighter like Charles Martin see your getting in your rhythm and you're starting to do some of the same things. You're not switching it up enough, and you're not, you're kind of being a little bit one dimensional. Um, Charles Martin just knew he had to be at bay. Just knew he had to be in, jabs distance. He wasn't in that power field for Jared Anderson. He didn't let Jared Anderson unleash that power on him. He was able to, play the outside of the ring, and he showed signs of what he could have been, a really good fighter, I feel like, with the right tutelage. But some of these heavyweights, man, you get a good training camp in them, man, and you never know what fighter you might get. I feel like Charles Martin, definitely had, I would say a better one of the better training camps, because if you think about it, Charles Martin, he's the same Charles Martin that got beat, you know, 3 times already. So, I mean, he's already had 3 losses. This will be a fourth, but he showed signs of, that he actually trained, and I feel like with that Anthony Joshua, I don't know what version came out of him in that fight, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think Charles Martin is still a pretty good heavyweight, man. I'm not taking a whole lot from this because Jared Anderson. This was a test. This was a test for Charles Martin to see, if Charles Martin was gonna be able to withstand the young guys, because he's the young guy coming up in the ranks. And there's a lot of other young guys coming up in the ranks, but Jared Anderson is one of the best top prospects we got in the United States of America, hands down. You know, so when you're top tier and you're top, you're at the very top like that. When it comes to all of the other American, you know, next generation type guys that come through the ranks, and you got a guy like Jared Anderson, actually, holding the torch, like, oh, this is the next big heavyweight champion of the world, man. So what I'm saying is, I'm thinking, man, I'm really thinking that this could be something dope for Jared Anderson to learn off of, man, because he showed signs that, he could get hurt in this fight, and he did get hurt. He got wobbled a couple times, not just one, but the one that stuck out to me the most when Jared Anderson got hurt in this fight was when he got hurt at the final round number 10. It was about 10 seconds to go, and Jared Anderson got caught, you know. And then not only did he get caught, Charles Martin went full steam attack mode after that. Like, I could possibly get this dude out of here now at the final bell. But it was 10, 9, 8. He was still stumbling over the ring and everything like that. And, he was all of. Then Charles Martin backed him up on the ropes. And then they held, and it was, 3, 2, 1, and it was over, man. It was over. I believe he threw a combination after that, and then it was over. And that didn't really that wasn't like the first punch, and then he threw another. I see after he hit him and hurt him, after he hurt Jared Anderson, he tried to throw another punch, but it almost got smothered. It almost like he was too close. It didn't land. He got so excited. You can lose your composure when you get another man hurt. When you get another man hurt in there, you could possibly lose your composure because you're so excited to get this guy out of here and ice the shit out of this guy. And this moment has finally come for you, that you get so worked up and you get so, like, something goes on in your body. It's so excited that you could possibly get iced yourself. So it's one of those things. It's like a catch-22. You got to be careful though when you hurt a guy like Jared Anderson. You know, because Jared Anderson can hurt you while he's hurt. You know, because I just feel like he's that type of guy. He still got young legs. He didn't drop. He didn't fall. He just, you know, pretty much, I would say he held on a little bit. But he was hurt. You know, he was visibly hurt. And you know, he won. You know, it's another win, another feather under the cap of Jared Anderson beating a guy like Charles Martin, which was a former heavyweight champion of the world. If Jared Anderson doesn't do anything else in the sport of boxing, if he never becomes world champion, if he never, you know, becomes what he thought he could become, he could say this one thing. He said, "Well, you know what? I beat a former heavyweight champion of the world. You know, went 10 rounds with him. You know, won almost every round. You know, did get rocked a couple times, stood up and beat him." And that's a pretty good accomplishment, man. That's a pretty good accomplishment, man, to beat a guy like Charles Martin. Because Charles Martin has been in there, you know, with the who's who. If you're trash, he's gonna get you out of there. You know, if you're trash, if you're not even trash, if you're just lower tier heavyweight, he's gonna get you out of there. You know, like I still can't believe he lost to Adam Kownacki. I think if he got a rematch with Adam Kownacki, I think he would win. Because Adam Kownacki's been on the skid lately, and he hasn't been looking good at all. He's been getting iced by guys that are lesser than Charles Martin. You know, the guy that just beat Adam Kownacki, I feel like Charles Martin to knock him out. That's the level that Charles Martin is on. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to compare these guys. You know what I mean? So Adam Kownacki just lost to a guy, okay? And let me get you guys his name. This guy has been on the skid. He's on a four fight losing streak. Adam Kownacki is. He just lost to Joe Casamano. So he just lost to him in a TKO in the I believe it was in the 6th round. And yeah, man, it was a rough night for him, man. It was on the Edgar Berlanga undercard. And he took an L. You know, he took a mean L. And that's 4 losses in his last, 5 fights. You know, he's on 4 fight losing streak. You know, he hasn't won since 2019. To just speak facts right now, Adam Kownacki hasn't won a professional match since 2019. Okay, we're looking at 2024 soon. You know, he won't fight in 2023 again. So 2024, he hasn't won in almost 5 years. As a heavyweight fighter, that kind of gets to you after a while. So I just feel like for Charles Martin to lose to a guy like that hasn't won in, almost, it'll be 5 years. You know, I just feel like Charles Martin has gotten better. I truly do. But then again, when you look at this fight, you got to zoom in on Jared Anderson, and you got to say, what did he do to switch up his, the way he was coming? Because what he was doing wasn't really working. Not trying to get him out of there, and he was getting caught here and there. So it was like, damn, Charles Martin, if he had a little bit more power, he could possibly, dare I say, knock down. Definitely knocked down for sure. Jared Anderson. But if he had more power, so if Jared Anderson fought a guy like Anthony Joshua, I would, at this point right now, after seeing what I've seen, I mean, I don't know, man. That would be a good fight, man. That would be a good fight, man. Anthony Joshua versus Jared Anderson next would be a good fight. I think any of the top heavyweights, Wilder, Joshua, Tyson. If any of these guys catch Jared Anderson now, I think they can beat him. But I think if they wait a couple more years, it's gonna get harder and harder. I feel like if he develops his skills, and I think he might want to add a coach in your camp or switch coaches. You see what I'm saying? Because at some point you should have known what Charles Martin was doing. You should have been able to cut the ring off. You should have been able to start. Charles Martin has been stopped before. Let's not act like Charles Martin has never been on the canvas multiple times. He's been knocked out, knocked down. I mean, a lot of times. So for Jared Anderson not to be able to get him out of there, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Toby in the chat, what's happening? Let's go. Let's get it. Anthony, what's happening? He says, Corey, I don't think Jared got exposed. He just got tested by Charles Martin. It pisses me off that people expect Martin just to lay down against Big Baby. Hell no. I didn't think he. I'm gonna be honest, man. I did think he. I did predict. I was predicting a first or second round knockout. But after I seen the 7th round and how the 6th and 7th round were going, I said, nah, this is gonna go the whole 12. This is gonna go the whole 10 because he can't. I just don't see Charles Martin getting hurt. I don't think that one knockdown. I don't think that Charles Martin was actually too badly hurt. I mean, he got back up and he was still doing his thing. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Smash that like button. He says, "What's up, Corey Lee? Salute. What's going on, man? Smash that like button, y'all." But yeah, man. Hot Grease, what's up, man? He says, "What about Sanchez, Corey Lee?" Salute. Yeah. Sanchez is good. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. But I think that at this point in their career, I think that Jared Anderson is better than him. Toby says nobody's made Charles Martin look like he did against AJ. Everyone else had problems against Martin. That's what I'm saying, man. A Jared Anderson versus Anthony Joshua fight right now would be awesome. But not only that, who do you guys think would win that fight? I think it's still a toss-up. I wouldn't 1,000% pick Jared Anderson after that performance. I wouldn't be like, oh shit, I'm in a rush to bet money on Jared Anderson and knock out Anthony Joshua. Hell no. Not after that performance. He got rocked in that fight. And mind you, Anthony Joshua rocked Charles Martin to sleep. So it's one of those things, man, you putting fire in fire, man. And that's another thing. What Anthony Joshua's left after Usyk, we've kind of seen some lackluster performances against Anthony Joshua as of late, to be honest. And I just feel like right now Anthony Joshua's at a point in his career where, is he even going to be able to use that power again? He's so, uptight on his defense because Alexander Usyk just made him look slow as shit. Facts. Shout out to Alexander Usyk, man, the heavyweight champion of the world. And it was going to accept a 70-30 split with Tyson Fury. Called Tyson Fury's bluff. Was going to accept a 7-30 split. And Tyson Fury declined. Tighten up, Tyson. Tighten up, Fury. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Smash that like button, y'all. But yeah, man, I'm just saying right now, man, Charles Martin is a good fighter, man, and I think he can still move on in the heavyweight division. I don't think that he should hold his head down about this or retire about this. Yeah, he's 37 years old, but heavyweights age. You guys seen it. Heavyweights age late, man. You know, I feel like the older you are, the better you'll get as a heavyweight. You know, I'm not saying that about all these other weight classes. Definitely not 110, 115. Those guys probably simmer out quick, you know. But for these heavyweights, for these big guys, man, you know, twice the size of a 115 pounder. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just got to understand these guys are coming to lay the hammer down. You see what I'm saying? So, if just because Charles Martin, and you guys got to know Charles Martin's got knockout power. He's 29-3 before he fought Jared Anderson, and he had 26 knockouts. Let's not act like Charles Martin didn't have a 70-80% KO ratio. Facts. Ranked number 10 in the United States of America of heavyweights. Facts. Top 50 heavyweight, you know, right now. Facts. I think he's even better than that. Charles Martin, I think he's better than 46 in the world. Hell yeah. You know, that's what they had him down as, though, going into this fight. You were 46th in the world. So, I don't know, man. Right now, I'm going to tell you guys what I've been telling you guys. And that's, man, Jared Anderson's got to work on some things. Straight up. You know? Jared Anderson's got to work on some things. If he doesn't work on things, he's going to get exposed. He's going to get exposed, man. I'm telling you, he's got to work on some things. You know, he got hurt in there, man. Let's not act like we didn't see that, man. We seen Jared Anderson get hurt, man. You know? Legs buckle, he's doing the shimmy and all of it. You know, multiple times. So, you know, right now, you guys, I'm just saying, man, I think it's time, man. I think it's time for, you know, Jared Anderson to step it up. I think it's time for, you know, some of these other young guys to step it up and actually fight some of these other young guys. I think, you know, Jared Anderson should possibly be tested with, like, you know, in the not too far future, because they're pushing them fast. I mean, look, he's already fighting Charles Martin in his 14th professional fight. What's next? Are you going down? Are you going up? Are you staying at the Charles Martin level? You know, which is like a Adam Kownacki type guys, you know. I mean, or are you, I mean, what are you doing? Are you going up? Are you fighting the Daniel Dubois of the world next? I just don't see Jared Anderson doing that right now. Not after that performance. I think his handlers are, you know, if they're smart, man, I don't think he's gonna be. I personally do not think that Jarrett Hurd will be in a world title fight next, or fighting any of the top 10 guys next. You know, but they're saying that Russian that fought on that undercard is in the top 10, top 5, I think, actually. Jared Anderson's in the top 10 of the world. You know. You know. So I want to know what, you know, what position is Jared Anderson in now? I mean, after that performance. You know, he did well. He did well. It just looked a little sloppy to me. That's all. You know, and I'm not saying Charles Martin is not gonna make you look a little, you know, wild at times. So sometimes I was like, damn, you know, Jared Anderson didn't even touch, you know, Charles Martin. I mean, he was swinging wildly. So, you know, for me to actually sit down and look at the fight like I was last night and break down that fight, you know, I give Jared Anderson like a B plus on that performance, you know, /B minus, you know, on that performance. Some people probably say it's a C class performance. So it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things, man. But I feel like now, man, you know, it's time, man. It's time for him to step it up because they already got him in there with, guys like Charles Martin is 14 professional fighting. You got to go up from here. I mean, do you go down? If I'm his handlers, I mean, I wouldn't go too much higher than Charles Martin because that means you're going to be running probably a little bit more power than Charles Martin, you know, with guys like, people in the chat are saying, who else I like too? I like the Sanchez guy from that's Cuban. What's his name? Sanchez, heavyweight. Yeah, I like him too. He's undefeated. You know, he's definitely undefeated. And he's a good fighter too. He's definitely a good fighter. Frank Sanchez. He's he's 20, 22 and 0 with 15 knockouts. Cuban Flash. Frank Sanchez, the Cuban Flash. I would love to see him versus Jarrett Hurd next. That would be an awesome fight. That would be an awesome fight. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Toby says Southpaw too, Corey, and tall with a long reach. Definitely better than 46. Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. Just the Southpaw alone, man, in the heavyweight division is dangerous. And you know how to use your Southpaw and stance, and you're good, Hey, y'all. Sorry about that, Corey. Did you fall asleep, bro? What's your audio? No, my bad, bro. I'm back, man. My bad. He says Brian Bomack would be a good boxing trainer for Jared Anderson. Yes, facts. 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 I can't even be mad at that. Facts. Big facts on that one, though. I like that. I like how you did that. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's a good trainer. Good combo too. He'll teach Jared Anderson how to set up his shots a little bit better. You know, that's all Jared Anderson needs to learn, man. Is to learn how to set up them shots a little bit better, and he'll be straight. I think he'll be fine. I think he's already a talented guy with a lot of upside. You know, and then in boxing, you know, you don't get a whole lot of athletic heavyweights, man. You see a lot of guys that are unathletic and that, you know, have bad ways and bad eating habits and shit. They gotta cut weight. You know? Some of them heavyweights back in the day, man, it wasn't nothing for them to shoot up and to get heavy as shit. And then to come back down. I don't know. Jared Hurst look like he been in shape year round though, man. That's another good thing I like about him, man. He's got a bright future, man. You know? Look like he got his head on his shoulders. You know? He just gotta work on some stuff. He's gotta work on some stuff. You know? To beat those top guys out there, man. You're gonna have to work on some stuff. You know? But yeah, man, I done rambled my mouth on, man, for almost 40 minutes, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Eat some food. Enjoy my 4th of July weekend with my friends and family. And I appreciate y'all, man. If y'all want to donate to the Cash App, it's Corey Lee Boxing on Cash App. And yeah, man. So definitely let me know. Like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for sure. And just come on back on the next live stream we're gonna do. We're gonna do it all over again tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys and women have a great day, great weekend.